So if you ever want to know how to find stocks before they spike, I just went over this with one of the members of YMC who I'm mentoring, and it's one of the things that she wants to know is, how do I find stocks before they spike? How do I time it? When do I get in? The first thing we need to identify is stocks that recently spiked. And I'll look at it from a 6-month history. In the past 6 months, has this stock spiked up? And has it done it fast? I look at that because I know that this stock can really do it again. Because most stocks, they like to repeat these patterns. So we look at it, the stock in the last month, 2 months, 3 months, has spiked up big. It's done it multiple times. So for swing traders, we look at hourly charts. Every candlestick represents 1 hour. And we like to find these very rigid, sudden spikes, especially when there's spikes in volume. Okay? This helps us identify that here's an opportunity for us to capitalize on a short-term movement where we can buy low, we can sell high. So as you can see, we have this big spike right here. And then we also have this decline over time. Now, as it declines over time, it reaches a threshold where it's either going to decide if it's going to continue to go up or down. This decided to go down even more drastically in a short amount of time. And usually when stocks do this, it usually has a bottom. And this bottom right here, what I like to call a demand zone, this is where I like to find stocks to buy, because it consolidates, it gets cluttered, it starts to reject going lower. And a stock gets to a threshold, again up here, where it has to make a decision if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down. So this stock decided to push up. And usually I don't find these breakouts. I usually find it after it's broken out. Now, you don't have to be perfect. So the stock spiked and it pulled back. All stocks go up, they must come down. They go down, they must come up. So don't worry about the first spike. Find that first spike. And then wait for that pullback to happen. And even then, even if you do not get the first pullback, that's okay. You can find the second pullback, which leads us here today. This is in real time. Okay. Here's an opportunity for you. Now, this is not investment advice. I'm just telling you how I trade. This is all educational. For me, I'm going to set up a position where I'm going to take a long position and say, hey, I'm starting to see that it's rejecting. If you look close, it's starting to reject this price point. So let's say this candle right here, let's say it goes green tomorrow. I need it to get past this point, which where I will buy. And I'm anticipating that it's going to make new highs. But if it doesn't, that's cool. I do something called risk management. I monitor stocks. But for educational purposes, I am targeting 10%. And if I'm going to target 10%, I want to at least have a risk to reward ratio of 1. So that lets me know I'm not completely gambling on the stock. If it goes wrong, it's going to get me out. But if I want to push for more, I need to make sure that it has the probability of making it there. So it once reached this price point. So when I set my price target and say, hey, like I'm buying at this price, I'm buying close to the support, the pullback, right? Just like where it happened here, where it pulled back, shuffled a little bit, and then it rallied. I am basically betting that it's going to do that again. And I need to know where I need to set my target. Now, usually I go for 7-10%, sometimes 15%. For this one, I'm just going to stick at 10, and I can even set my stop to like 9%. It's right around where the last pullback was. So if it doesn't make higher highs or it doesn't make higher lows, I'm okay with that. I can take my loss and live another day. I'm not putting all my money into the stock, right? But for the short term, I'm going to take a nice position and bet that, hey, this is going to do it again. I'm even thinking that it can go higher, right? Like it reached this past point. This is the old resistance right here. And I like to look at old resistance to let me know where the stock was once at. It can try to get there again because most stocks like to retest. So here's where I'm buying at 139. I set my target for 154. I set my stop loss at 9% below at 126. Now, when this plays out, once it reaches its price point, I can put in my order, or I can already put in my order for it to get me in once it hits this price point, and then I'll let the stock do what it do. I can go and run my errands. I can run my business, my other business. You can go to your 9 to 5 and leave it there. You don't necessarily have to be glued to a computer. This is what we call swing trading. Now, back to the probability. Now, of course, we can probably stretch a little bit more profit, but we don't want to be greedy. We just want to take the meat of the move. Most traders make the mistake when they try to get greedy. Just take the meat of the move, take a piece and get out. Repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And you just keep doing that over and over. So this is really how you catch these setups before they actually just really take off. The stock can really just take this and blow right past my target profit the next day. You can do it within 15 minutes, or it can take 2 weeks to get there. Who knows? But we will be reactive. We have our risk management in place. We're not gambling. It's calculated risk. We have our plan in place on when we're going to buy, when we're going to take profit, when we're going to sell for a loss, just in case things go wrong. We look at our probability. We have a lot of upside here, and that gives us some breathing room to let us know that, hey, between now and where it's at, we have a 20% upside. So there's 20% probability here. There's 20% in profit probability, and we're only going to take 10%. It's a nice deal. So this pretty much wraps it up, man. This is how you really find the stocks. You guys gotta really study. This is at night right now, so study up before your next day at work. Place in your orders, and then go on about your day. All on autopilot from here. All right, y'all. Y'all keep leveling up. This is Ronnie G.